Hello everyone. This video will introduce you to Autodesk Navisworks. I'm gonna show you how to start the software, get to use files with it, and then we will do a federated model for other models that are discipline specific as we talk about it during the class. Federated models are models that put together models for multiple disciplines. Navisworks actually will do that for us. And with that, let's start. Okay, for this video, we're gonna do C5, the C5 assignment, which I provide you with some files that are the specific discipline, specific models that we're gonna put together on the federated model. I'm gonna just proceed to download these files. I just wanna go to my downloads folder for now. Just be sure that you download all of them, not try to open it directly because the way that these files works is a little bit different from what we used to do. Okay. And now I just downloaded all my files, but I also wanna create a working folder. I'm gonna create a folder that we'll call C5. My name, just that is enough. And then we replace the files that we just downloaded to the working folder. And I'm gonna open my working folder just to show you that my working folder has all the files that I downloaded inside. Okay. As I typically mention in class, I typically prefer to open the software instead of clicking the files. And this is more important for what you do in Autodesk Navisworks, because these files, I mean, we are gonna link them to another file that we are gonna create in the software itself. So definitely opening these files won't achieve the outcome that we want. So to start the software, uh, typically, I mean, we use search for it. And let's say I want to use just type Navisworks. And in this case, Navisworks manage shows as the first option, and that is actually correct. But that is because over time, Windows understand that is what is my intention. But the problem is that typically the Navisworks software installation is install other versions of the software. So I think the other one is Navisworks Manage in 2025. But in parentheses, you can see that it shows Beam 360. Although this is a very similar software, this is a different version of the software that we are not going to use. That is just basically the software connecting to the cloud provided by Autodesk. The problem with that is that we're not using the cloud in the files that we are doing right now. So if you open this one, it will ask you to connect to a server and authentication, which we are not doing in this case. But just to be certain, the way that typically I suggest you start the software and just type manage. And then you just look for the option of Navisworks Manage 2025 or whatever that doesn't have anything else, right? Because I think there is a third option that sometimes shows up, and just click that one and that is okay. And I'm gonna do that. In my other screen, actually, is showing the start window saying Navisworks Manage. A thing to consider with Navisworks is that different than Revit, the version of the software actually doesn't matter much. All right, so you can actually run these files in any version of Navisworks, either 2020, 22, or in 2025. It doesn't matter much about with what version you open it, which matters a lot for Revit, right? But not much on Navisworks. Okay, so here is Navisworks interface. I mean, for 2025. Over time, the interface changed a little bit on earlier versions of Navisworks, but basically it's the same essence. So you have a very similar tabs at the top, and at the top you have some icons. I'm gonna create a new project. So I'm gonna go to the software icon here, and then click new. And basically this creates a new file. And right now everything is black because we don't have anything loaded. Now I'm going to save this file. Oh, wait. Okay, so now I'm going to, the thing is that the interface right now is not showing any, in addition to not showing any model, it's not showing any bars to give me ways to select things. So I'm just gonna select the selection tree. That will show me what I have open. And I'm gonna start appending files that I have in my working folder. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna click the arrow next to below append. I'm gonna click that one, and I'm going to start appending the most basic files. So I'm gonna start appending the architecture, and I'm on the working folder right now. And actually, you will see that it doesn't show anything on my folder because right now the only file type that is showing that it can read is NWD. But actually, I'm gonna just switch this to a Navisworks file set. So NW. Wait, let me remember. Let me check what files on NWC. Okay. So I'm gonna open the Navisworks cache. So it shows your files. Or you can also do all files and it will show everything that is in the folder. But we're gonna start opening this file. So I'm gonna append, and append basically means that we have these files that we have open, and we're gonna link the architectural file to this model here. But it's not that we are importing the files. We are just reading the files in that folder directly here. All right. So so that means that we are not overloading this file with data, but just reading the data that we have on the architectural file. This is more like if you think about how computers work in Windows, it's like a shortcut to that file. All right, so I'm going to open the architectural. It will load. And yeah, this is an architectural model. All right. And I'm going to open my selection tree. And just for it to know this appears, I'm going to pin it to the interface. So now it's going to be there all the time. Okay. The way you navigate in Navisworks is by clicking the middle mouse button to pan, and then with shift and the middle mouse button you rotate. Okay, and now you do. And basically that's the most important things. Okay, here in the selection tree, I mean, if you expand the architectural model, this architectural model is divided by more specific categories. And then here I can actually select those specific categories. So let's say if I want to select doors, I just can select the doors categories, and then it will select everything in that category. That works like this because the file that we are reading is organized like this, but this is not always the case. Sometimes files are organized differently, so you have to understand what is the file structure of that model. And we're gonna open append another model so you can see that. So I'm gonna append the architectural, sorry, so the structural. Okay, it might seem that nothing changed, but if you go down, you're gonna see that now you have foundation, but it's actually not only foundation that it shows. Is you now have like a circular frame for the building itself that it was now embedded into the architectural model. So all of it's trying to show everything at the same time. And if you open the structural model, like click the plus sign next to the name, you will see that this model is the organization is totally different. This one specifically is organized by levels. So if you click one, let's say one level, you can select things at that level. Footing, then first floor, second, third, and fourth. And to some extent, you might not be able to see some things because other objects are blocking the view of the other one that you're trying to select. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and you can actually see everything here. So I'm going to expand both. You can continue expanding this to show more specific things. So if I just expand the first floor, I can see structural foundation, structural framing. Let's say I'm gonna select, I'm just gonna select the structure model, and I'm gonna hide unselected, just to show you what the structural model has. And you see, it's basically just the shell, the skeleton of the building itself. And I'm going to unhide all, and now this is everything. Okay, I'm just gonna continue adding another um, model. So I'm gonna add the mechanical. It's not just that I'm adding, actually I am appending, which means that I'm reading those files from here. And again, I'm gonna show just the mechanical, and you see that you see the docks and equipment actually showing at the top. I'm gonna unhide everything that is not selected. And this is actually my mechanical model. Okay. Finally, I'm going to also append, I think, the sprinklers. Let's open it. And then hide unselected just to show you what that model has. Yeah, it's just this. All right, so all the pipes going through all the building, and probably this connects to the mechanical. Okay. Now, what we have here is now our federated models. I mean, these federated models is only coming from four disciplines. Might be that other federated models that you might work with have more disciplines included. But the main takeout from here is that we are putting together this model, which is a federated model, by putting together all the models from other disciplines, and that way we have the overall picture of the building itself. And this is just the first step to do other things, such as start identifying classes between the different disciplines. But for now, this is just a quick overview. I'm going to also, let's say, if you want to maybe hide the grid lines, you can go to View. Then you can unclick Show Grid, and then it's not showing anymore. Oops. All right. And remember that the power of Navisworks is that it's much faster than Revit, because all these models that we load are loaded into the RAM of the computer. Actually, this icons over here indicates that. That means that you can access the models faster than in Revit, that everything is read from the hard drive. All right, so Navisworks typically it's easier and more efficient to visualize models, um, and in that way you can identify issues faster. All right, okay. Now, I mean, this is a federated model, but we now I'm going to create a specific file that contains all of this, and then we can use that one to refer to the other files. All right, I'm gonna click the Navisworks icon, and then I'm gonna save as, and then I'm gonna save in the same working folder, and you have to save as NWF. I mean, Navisworks has actually um, multiple file types. NWF is that file type that link to other files, and it's very space efficient. So I'm gonna use that one. NWC are files that have model information. Typically, those are the ones read by an NWF, and typically the NWCs are typically more are bigger in size. And then there's NWD, which is a merge of both. But I mean, for now, we're gonna use NWF, and I'm gonna name this file Federated. All right, and I'm gonna save it. And this file is basically well, it's gonna keep record of all these links to the other files. And if I go back to my working folder, I just want to highlight the differences between the file sizes of these models. And you see that, for example, architectural, mechanical, the discipline specific models, I mean, they weigh 753 megabytes. Well, structural is a little bit simple. Um, but just see the federated model is only 4 kilobytes. This is very, very small file size, which means that the only thing that that file contains is not any geometry. It's just the links to the other files that we have on the computer. And I'm just gonna try something here. So I'm gonna close this file. So I'm gonna go to well, I'm gonna close the software. And then just for an example, I'm going to delete the architectural, right, from this folder. And now I'm gonna open my federated model again. Now it's opening on my other screen. And now I'm going to load the same file that I had before, the federated model. I know it's there, but I just want to emphasize that I'm getting the same file. And once I open that, it tells me there is an error. It cannot find a specific file. I'm just gonna ignore it just for you to see. Just see that it starts to load everything else, but not that one. Okay, because it couldn't find the files. Again, I mean, these this information that you see on the selection tree are just links or references to the other files. So it's very important that you get organized with working folders in Navisworks, because if not, your files might actually have issues with reading other files. Because right now we are just linking multiple files, and although I'm not opening directly the other files that in the other disciplines, basically I'm using those files to be loaded here. Okay, I'm going to close here, and I'm gonna undo delete. Should be fine here, and I'm gonna load again. I'm gonna open the Federated model again. It's loading. And now everything is back again. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say one more time. In the assignment description. So we created an NWF, which is a Federated model. Then what you have to submit to Canvas is obviously the completed Federated model in your working folder, and then compress that working folder and upload to Canvas. You need to also include the files that I gave you, the given files, because remember that I need to link your Federated model to the original files, and I need to see if you did it correctly. All right. Okay, that's it for this video, and see you in class.